All right, let's talk rational expressions. A rational expression is an expression that has a fraction, and a lot of times you have variables in the denominators. So here are some rules that you need to keep in mind when we're simplifying rational expressions. I'm not going to read them all out, but if you want to write them down, go ahead and pause this video so that you can get it all in your notes. Alrighty, let's move on to actually multiplying these rational expressions. When we multiply fractions, we can just multiply straight across. What I'm going to do first is see if I can factor any of my terms and get them down into their factored form, and then I'll multiply. So here I've got 3x squared y, nothing to be factored there. 2rs, nothing to be factored there. 24r squared s, nothing to factor. And 15xy squared, nothing to factor. So now I'm going to go ahead and multiply straight across. I'm going to combine all of the like terms for multiplication, which means any integers times any integers, and things with the same variable, I'm going to combine those based on their exponents. So 3 times 24 is 72. And then when we're multiplying across, I don't see any of the same variable, so I'm gonna write the variables in alphabetical order because it makes my heart happy. Then on the bottom, 2 times 15 is 30, and again, no variables to be able to combine. So I'm gonna keep this in alphabetical order. And now I'm gonna simplify it. 72 divided by 30, both of those numbers are divisible by 6. 72 divided by 6 is 12. 30 divided by 6 is 5. Then looking at the r's, I have r squared on top and r to the 1 on the bottom. Remember, when we're dividing the bases, we subtract their exponents. 2 minus 1 is 1, so I have a positive r to the 1. S over s, when we subtract that, we end up with 0, so there aren't going to be any s's left. X squared over x leaves us with 1x on the top. And then y over y squared leaves us with a y on the bottom, because y to the 1 over y squared, 1 minus 2 is negative 1, and when we have a negative exponent, we move it to the bottom of our fraction. So there is our simplified version of that product. Number 2, we have m plus 3 over 5m times 20m squared over this trinomial m squared plus 8m plus 15. I'm going to factor this trinomial, so let's see, what multiplies to 15? That adds up to 8. The factors of 15 are 1 and 15, or 3 and 5. The ones that add up to 8 are going to be 3 and 5. So now when I multiply across, on top I have 20m squared times m plus 3 over 5m, and then now the factored form of that trinomial is m plus 3 times m plus 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4, so I have a 4 on top. M squared divided by m is m. M plus 3 over m plus 3. I have two of the exact same factor, so I can get rid of both of those. And then I have an m plus 5 on the bottom. There is our simplified fraction. Let's look at a couple more with multiplication. 3 times x plus 5 over 4 times x squared plus 8x plus 15 times x plus 3. The numerator here is already factored. The denominator is partially factored, so let's factor the rest of it. We just had that exact same trinomial, so I know I'm going to have m plus 3 and m plus 5 on the bottom. So I have 3 times m plus 5. I'm multiplying by m plus 3 over 1. I'm sorry, x plus 3 over 1. So I've got x plus 3 on top, over 4 times x plus 5 times x plus 3. In this case, both of those factors are going to be canceled out, so we're left with 3 over 4. Number 4, we've got 3a plus 9 over a times a squared over a squared minus 9. I'm going to start by factoring whatever can be factored. The numerator of the first fraction can be factored into 3 times a plus 3, and then when I multiply across, I've got 3a squared and a plus 3. Then on the denominator, we've got a And then this other denominator can be factored as a minus 3 and a plus 3. I've got a plus 3 on the top and bottom, so I'm going to get rid of that. 3 is going to stay on top. There's no other number on the bottom to simplify that. A squared over a is a. That's going to stay on top. And then we have that a minus 3 on the bottom, and that one is done.